there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying.
You know you've got to find. You know you've got to find. You know you've got to find. To bring someone into find.
And today's guest is a good friend of mine, the incredible, indelible General Levy in the building. What's up, my friend?
Man, greetings, Rockwell. In the name of the Most High. Ja!
Rastafari.
Big up, Rax.
What's good, my
Nice
brother?
to be here, bro, man. Nice to see you.
finally have you here, man.
Yes, man.
We've
Yes.
been talking about it for a minute, and now we're making it happen.
Staying safe, staying good.
And I'm glad you're the first guest I've got as well, because it all makes sense.
Well, test it out, you know what I mean? Test it out, you know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm glad
yes.
to be a part of it, bro. Making history.
Making history, bro.
Yeah, man, first.
Yeah, so to start it off, right, I'd like to, I guess, get into your origins.
Yeah.
Where did you start?
Well, I was born in Harlesden in 1971. I'm Trinidad heritage. And born in the hood. I went to Bridge Road School. Grew up in Harlesden, and then I moved from Harlesden to Sudbury. And then from Sudbury. Yeah, I lived in Sudbury for a minute growing up. When I was about 9 or 10, I moved from Harlesden to Sudbury, and then from there I lived in Wembley. And then from there I just went to East London. So basically Harlesden heritage and in the area, Northwest 10.
Northwest.
Yeah.
North Wheezy. So, but you said you went to East London?
Yeah, that was later on when I was in my teens. That's where I met my first baby. You know, just when I had my missus was from over there, so I was living over East London in the early 90s for a few years.
Okay, which part of East?
In Bow.
In Bow?
Yeah.
Okay. I lived in Bethnal Green for a bit as well.
Yeah.
Myland.
Yeah. East was peace, man. I mean, what year was that?
When I was there, it wasn't peace like that still.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, peace in certain ways,
Yeah.
but I guess that was early. I'm talking like early 90s, more
Yeah.
than midnight. You know what I mean?
Well,
Midnight.
for me, you come from Harlesden, coming from Northwest, and then staying over East was like, it was peaceful, it was nice, it was like a different vibe. So maybe, you know, that's what made it. It was just nice. It was I was there with my baby mother. This is in the early 90s, but I still had my Northwest vibes in me still. So you know what I mean. Anyway, you can take us out of Northwest 10, but you know what I mean. It remains.
What's your origin of your country of birth?
Trinidad.
Trinidad.
I was born in England, but my parents are from Trinidad.
Okay. Have you ever been back home?
Yeah, I've been to Trinidad. You know, when we was young, we used to go to Trinidad every year for Carnival. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I heard about the Trinity Carnival.
It's
man.
energy, man.
When's the last time you've been to that carnival?
I must have been when I was about, it's a while now, it's been about 10 years. About 10 years. But we used to go every year, me and my mom and my brother, and we used to go to Queen's Park, Savannah, and this is where they kind of, it's a stadium, you know, we used to do Juve. And
What's Juve?
Juve is like a pre-carnival thing in Trinidad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they have before the carnival, about a
What's
week
the roots
before.
of that? I've heard the name before, but I thought I heard that in reference to spiritual stuff. Juve. Is it? What's the actual origin of?
Juve is just like a
or New Orleans. Don't New Orleans do something like that as well?
I don't know. If you're talking about juju, is that juju? I don't know. I don't know. Juve. It's just Juve is like the pre-carnival. It's like just before it starts, they kind of they had this kind of they have like the different parties. Like I might have themes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And
then that kind of builds up, and it's like the nights before, not long before, it's a few nights before the main carnival. So yeah, we used to go to Trinidad, Tobago, or big up Tobago as well. And my family are all musicians in Trinidad because my uncle, he's a kind of legendary calypsonian. His name is Trinidad Rio. He's a bit of a legend out there in the old calypso. And I've got a cousin who's a big artist out there. His name's Ben Jai. and then also my other uncles, they play musicians, like my Uncle Kelly, he's a, I don't play again, trumpet, alright, I think he's a trumpet man, and then I got my uncle Frankie, who's in England, he plays the trombone, so everybody, and my brother, he's an artist as well, so, you know, when we go to Trinidad, we have a big party, and my family, everybody sings their song. That does their music, and so when I go in there, I do my little ragamuffin thing. So Trinidad is big, man. I mean, I haven't been there for a minute, but I've got a very musical family in Trinidad.
That is dope. That is one place I'd like to visit as well, especially for Carnival.
Yeah, it's energy. The energy, you have to be very fit. They go hard. It's not like England.
Soca, right?
Yeah, the soca, and it's just a full-on energy thing. Like not full. It's a full-on for like a few days. And it's really, and the women are so beautiful, and it's just you can't get tired, because as you get tired, you see something else. You have to keep up. And if you get dropped on the floor, they laugh at you. So yeah, Trinidad's a very energetic place, and I've got a very musical family. Big up Davey, man, I love you. And all of my family, then musicians. One day we all get together and we all make a song together, like the Jacksons or something.
You produced that.
Yes, produced by Rockwell and first previewed on the Culture Club show. Yeah.
Dope. So one thing you're known for is that hiccup style.
See, yes.
Can you break down the origins of that? Like, how did you come across that style? Were you the first to use it?
Yeah.
Who used it before? Because I remember way back in the day, there was an argument that all the American artists used to come over here and jack styles and take them back and run with it.
Yeah.
And I think your name and your style might have been in that discussion.
Okay.
So I don't know if you shed some light on
the hiccup style, it came from just me, as we was jamming, me and my friends, we used to jam, and everybody had lyrics and stuff, and then I had a lyrics called "Don't Get Digi." Don't get that, and Digi, don't get that, and Digi, don't get that. And one day it was on a rhythm called Can't Tie Me, so kind of as a dancehall rhythm. And I was chatting the lyrics, and the rhythm kind of jumped. And when it jumped, I go, don't get that, and Digi, don't get that. And it's just like a little, I kind of, to where I caught back onto the rhythm. And at the time, we didn't really notice it, but when we played back the tape, it was in Desmond's house, Desmond Wade in Shawkill. When we played back the tape, it sounded really cool on that particular rhythm. I only worked on that rhythm. And then it kind of developed up, don't get and Digi, don't get and Digi, and it kind of went up from there to the, developed to when I went to the, I am the, why general, you know, and there was a MC who had a style similar in Jamaica called Major Mackerel, but his style wasn't, I didn't have, my style was different from, I didn't get my style from him. I don't think he got his style from me, because his style was more, not touch it down man, don't touch it, don't touch it down man, don't touch it. And then and my style was more, I am the why general, me are the why general. But his style came out about 80 something, 87 or something, and I began to appear on the scene about 88, 89. So there was a lot of similarity, contrast, but you know, my style was made in basically out of just a mistake, and I kept it and then developed it up from there. It didn't really mean to make that style. It just kind of developed from that. That's crazy. Every mistake is a style.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because some people basically, I remember back in the day, were saying that's effects.
Yeah. What
so
did it?
Got their style off of people like you. And was it Papa? Was it Daddy Freddy?
Daddy Freddy's
What was Daddy Freddy's style?
I mean, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, hip hop and reggae MCs were very similar. Like, a lot of them came from, there was a lot of stuff for cross-pollination, because there was a time when ragga dancehall music was played alongside hip hop. If you walk down the streets of Church Avenue or walk down Queens, Jamaica Avenue, or Church, you know what I mean, at a certain point you would hear some dancehall tunes and hip hop tunes. I'd say there was even a point in the early 90s and that dancehall was even more popular. Shabba Ranks days and these kind of artists, these kind of days. So dancehall, there was a big intake of dancehall music, and when it was like used by rappers then, It was seen as more as a compliment. No one didn't feel no way, because to know that such a ghetto music from a small island like Jamaica could influence the hip hop scene, it was like, wow, you know, it was a good look for dancehall. So plus it made a lot of people who like dancehall music listen to the hip hop tune, like you mentioned, Daz Effects. So when they did the fast styles, it's like you'd hear it, so we get it, you know, it's kind of, it's like, it's a dancehall thing. So they was like paying homage to say, no, we know what's going on.
Well, I don't know if they was paying homage like that. I mean, I think you're generous. And
yeah. Well, as long as they do, I mean, if they take a direct line, like for instance, I'll give you an example. Miley Cyrus recently, she took a track from, she took a line from Flower Gun called "We Run Things, Things No Run We." Now she used that line in one of her songs, and Flower Gun just sued her for $300 million.
How much?
$300 million.
$300 million.
I mean, I understand that argument definitely, but you know, we were like, you know, reggae dancehall was seen as an underground music, so to be even acknowledged by the bigger heads was like, whoa, you know, just, you know what I mean. But at that time, man wasn't even thinking about paperwork. Look at Flower Gun, and man, just not him getting money. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about back in them days. There was that was going on a lot, man. Enough little line was taken from DJs, from like dancehall DJs. Enough cripping was going on. It was like enough styles were taken from rappers. Would take the styles.
Right. Ready again.
They came over here and bit your style issue.
See?
So like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, to know that our little community, which was like a dancehall community of doing our MCing, was even acknowledged by, you know, in the US, that was like a surprise to us, you know. And even Jamaican MCs used to come here and take styles from the UK MC, like Saxon MCs was pirated by enough MCs around the world, you know. So the influence was wide from the UK MCs, you know what I mean? You know, the influence, we had a big influence out there. And I think that more respect and more acknowledgement should be given to the UK artists for their input that they put in the foundations of some of the roots of lyricism.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? I don't think that acknowledged enough.
It's very much underplayed.
Yeah, there was a lot of artists was coming from abroad, going to dances, hearing things, and then going back to their cities and their countries. So yeah, and that's a very untold story.
That's
definitely. Right. Big up Papa Levi, Tipper Irie, Saxon crew, Daddy Freddy. You understand? Yeah, a lot of artists, and even South American. Some of the dancehall MCs, reggaeton was translated into Spanish, you know, remixed. So there's been a lot of influence there. Yeah, Daddy Yankee, you know, El General. There's been a lot of influence from UK artists and Jamaican artists. You understand?
So it must be good to know as an artist that you can influence, you know, culture and influence generations and sound and inspire.
Yeah, it's nice because it's nice to know we have to acknowledge that, you know, also that we were influenced. You know, the same. So I understand how it goes. You know, just when you're young, you will hear a little pattern or a little style. You might pinch a piece from here. I mean, everybody. I mean, they say great people, great artists steal. You know what I mean? I mean, most of the great artists steal. I mean, you know. So it's just music, you know, and it's inspiration, and I mean, it happens in the music business, and it's inspiration, and if I can be an inspiration, I'm very happy and I'm grateful because I've been inspired. So we just passed the baton, But things can happen, for instance, where your song is stolen and someone doesn't give you your dues, like your copyright and your publishing.
Right.
So I'm glad that a lot of artists now are getting to understand the paperwork and the business side of it, so they can't get robbed and people can't just rip off their style.
You know you've got to find